Chapter 3: Agreement and Disagreement. Dawah work is open to a wide variety of opinions and personal views, which is of great benefit in building brotherhood and understanding among all believers. The first principle in group work is to focus on collaboration. Look for ways of cooperation and reconciliation rather than getting involved in side arguments and allowing trivialities to sidetrack work. Cooperation supersedes conflict. Do not put pressure on others, embarrass them, or look for areas of disagreement. Rather, overcome past differences and look for areas of agreement and for opportunities to foster love and closeness. Islam is a religion of unity. We must focus on what brings people together in creed and thought, and on what reconciles people's hearts. The means may differ, but the goal is the same. What we seek is that all believers become brothers joined by bonds stronger than blood. This is the true brotherhood of faith. Overcoming discord and revealing its pitfalls and rejecting the incitement of hatred and ill will leads to the strengthening of faith-based relations. Life is full of things that are positive, good, and constructive, so let us focus on having a sunny outlook, for brotherhood based on faith keeps us away from what is hurtful and helps us overcome discord. Authentic faith is characterized by a global embrace, which is one of its major qualities. There are many secondary issues that arise in the arena of social action, some of which are controversial. Given that our religion is wide in scope, compatible with a global worldview, and relevant to all people and all places, controversy is natural and acceptable. We must seek to reach an understanding between all of us as believers, and we must go beyond anything that causes disagreement and discord. The umbrella of faith is wide enough for all of its adherents. Everyone must join together and unite in creed and action. There is enough diversity to offer a variety of interpretations in secondary matters, providing enrichment and progress. In this way, we can achieve complementarity rather than infighting. For what is more beautiful than hearts unified around a sublime goal, coupled with intellectual connections and working arm in arm? It is obvious that we must go beyond outdated discussions and embrace essential ones. We must avoid getting sidetracked by what is trivial and focus on what is essential. Our societies are in great need of togetherness and harmony, which can be achieved through unity of faith and directing ourselves toward the main issues. Legal disagreements should not be the things that divide us and tear us apart. Rather, they are the result of intellectual efforts to improve. They are also proof of the critical thinking found among the believers, and they underline the wide scope of Islamic rulings, which are flexible, merciful, and kind. Many of our fellow believers do not know Islam very well and are very much in need of more knowledge and comprehension. Perhaps if we all taught ourselves what is needed in order to understand Islam properly, many of the sectarian and scholarly divisions among us would end, for knowledge is the most effective path to eradicating dissension. Islamic work is open to a wide array of opinions and encompasses a great deal of legal interpretations. It promotes togetherness, builds brotherhood, and establishes the basis for understanding among the believers. All of this helps in serving our faith and results in benefiting believers everywhere. The greatest area of disagreement among those involved in volunteer work relates to the methods of carrying out the work and has nothing to do with the principles and issues of faith. These differences should not become disagreements and/or lead to disunity and discord. We cannot assume that there are no disagreements among humanity. Disagreements are a part of God's laws of the universe. Had Allah desired to make everyone have the same ideas, He would have done so. Instead, He arranged humanity into communities and tribes so that they may become friends. We must deal with differences of opinion in a civilized manner. We must come together based upon what we already agree upon, and we must develop our shared qualities and promote reform within ourselves and within our societies. We must forgive each other, whatever we may disagree upon, for this is the proper etiquette of disagreement. Disagreement is natural, and when we criticize it, should be constructive, not destructive and hurtful. We should avoid criticizing areas of weakness in others' ideas or belittling what they are doing. There are proper ways of criticizing that we must follow, and we must not cross the line into disrespecting and demeaning others. Since disagreements are a part of life and natural in volunteer work, we must find ways of avoiding the pitfalls of disagreements and mitigating their harm. In this way, we can build a foundation for agreement based on our shared ideas and avoid looking for what tears us apart. At the same time, we must achieve understanding and complementarity between the volunteers and the voluntary organizations they work for. This means continuously following a methodology that brings people together, working on what is shared and putting aside disputes, as long as we are not dealing with the fundamentals of faith. The believer is required to harness the efforts of all other believers and build upon them. The society of believers must reflect the notion of the unified body, meaning a society full of love and brotherhood.